My name is Mr. Washington Armstrong III. I am a native Washingtonian. I came to work in Ward 3 4 years ago. I worked with the school system as a crossing guard. I spent a year at Allisdale and the last 3 years over here at Jenny. Before that, I worked at Ward 3 for the U.S. Department of Transportation for Pepco. I worked all across the city and have traveled the country. But when you really think about it, where I grew up and where I ended up at the two different worlds. Growing up, I spent my time in Mount Airy Baptist Church on North Capitol and L Street. Right there, the new temple court that went organizing help build. As a kid, I sang in their chorus. I was in the Boy Scouts. I had a good life. I had a house, a condominium, and then went south. The land is available to you, Councilmember Che. I mean, do you see this? I'm 75 years old now, and I have lived in the district for so long. I would like to come back home. I would love to live up here. It would be ideal. I could walk up the street and be at work in 5 minutes instead of driving an hour every day. Do you see this?
I'm Susan Price, and I've lived in this neighborhood for 40 years, and I want more diversity here. Do you see this?
Hi, I'm Kevin Malshine with Washington Interfaith Network. I'm in favor of affordable housing in Ward 3. Have you seen this?
I know you see this, council member. This city is a beautiful place. The land is here. Why can't we use it? Why are we holding each other back? Councilmember Che, would you help us develop a plan for at least 400 units of affordable housing on public land in Rock Creek West?
I'm Ward Oram, the CEO of the Lisner Louise Dixon Herd Home, located at Friendship Heights in Upper Northwest. For over 80 years, the home has delivered extraordinary health and life care services to low and modest income seniors of DC. The home is a public charity and is licensed to provide assisted living and nursing care, which includes housing, medical care, nutritional, and psychosocial services. We are rated as a 5-star nursing facility by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, and we are listed as one of the best facilities in the nation by U.S. News and World Report. Our commitment to providing care to low-income seniors has strained our financial resources, and we must address this issue if we are to continue to serve elders in need. While the home has a licensed capacity to serve 116 residents, we have been negatively impacted over the past 2 years by COVID and by a flood that destroyed the original 1940s building, which served low-income assisted living elders. To bring these units back into operation, the home will use development proceeds from our land for the construction of approximately 90 affordable housing units for low-income seniors in Rock Creek West. This effort furthers our mission of service, and we are committed to the future that is ahead. We trust that the WIN Coalition in Upper Northwest will embrace this project. We also wish to thank you, Councilmember Che, for your past efforts on behalf of the home and ask that you support the proposed addition of approximately 90 affordable senior housing units here at Lisner.
I'm Barbara Briggs. I'm a member of Friends Meeting of Washington, and I live in Ward 3, as do many of our members. First of all, Councilmember Che, I'd like to thank you for all you're doing to make sure that the district does its share to respond to the climate crisis. As you're well aware, almost 3/4 of DC's greenhouse gas emissions are from our buildings. Over the last year, I've been part of a group of WIN leaders meeting to build our knowledge and a vision for affordable and green housing in the district that can address the climate crisis and the affordable housing crisis simultaneously. We've learned that so-called natural gas, mostly methane, that powers most of our buildings is leaking where it's drilled, in the pipelines that bring it to DC, and under our streets. We've also learned that gas burned in our homes is very harmful to human health, and that, for instance, a child living in a home with even one gas appliance has a 42% greater chance of asthma. We know that in order to meet DC's climate commitments, we must stop burning fossil fuels, including gas. And when we do that, our families will be healthier too. Here in Ward 3, we would like to work with you to build 400 homes that are affordable, climate resilient, and powered by clean energy. WIN is also working district-wide with public housing residents who tell us that they are tired of poor air quality, tired of being promised repairs that never happen, and really afraid of displacement. We know that public housing includes many of the most inefficient gas guzzling buildings in DC. We'd like to work with you to transition these buildings off gas to electric power, starting with green pilot projects at public housing sites that are already up for redevelopment. So today, I hope that you'll answer two questions. One, will you commit to helping to create new funding streams so that all new construction and substantial renovation of our public housing incorporates highly efficient, sustainable, non-combustion energy sources while preserving affordability? And second, will you work with us to create a demonstration project on public lands in Rock Creek West using clean energy to combat climate change? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Esther and I'm a senior at Wilson.
Hi, I'm Salif. I'm also a senior up at Wilson.
I'm Mr. Minsker. I'm a teacher at Wilson.
As members of the Community Coalition for Change, we believe that affordable housing belongs in Ward 3, particularly in and around Reno, a once thriving community made up of people of color, immigrants, and working class families. Our club at Wilson is collaborating with Washington Interfaith Network and other grassroots organizations to push for positive and lasting changes in the community to counter the forces responsible for the destruction and dismantling of Reno City.
The legacy of the racist Senator Francis Newland and his Chevy Chase Land Company lives on in Ward 3, where racial covenants shape the demographics of these neighborhoods. Another negative force that broke up the diverse Reno City, made up of 300 families, was Luther Derrick, who lived in this very house right here, president of the so-called Friendship Citizens Association, who pushed to dismantle and destroy Reno. We need a Ward 3 that truly reflects the true demographic makeup of the District of Columbia.
There are public lands in Ward 3 that could be used for mixed income affordable housing. For instance, this, almost a 2-acre parcel of land located between Deal Middle School and Murch Elementary, is unused public land managed by the National Park Service. Photographs from the early part of the 20th century clearly show that Reno houses ran along the side of Davenport Street. What better way for district leaders to address the tragic legacy of Black land loss in Northwest than to build affordable homes on the very dirt where families once lived, worked, and played? Mayor Bowser has talked a lot about her goal of almost 2,000 affordable houses west of Rock Creek by 2025, but none of this has come to fruition. Let's make the hard decisions and do the hard work to make this a reality.
Councilmember Che, will you work with us to craft policies that increase access to ownership opportunities for African Americans who want to live in Northwest DC?
Will you help us develop a plan for at least 400 units of affordable housing on public land in Rock Creek West?
And will you work with us to maximize the use of existing zoning and planning tools to ensure affordable housing on private land in Ward 3, including at Friendship Heights, Tinley, Cleveland Park, Woodley Park, and the Wardman site? Thank you for joining us and being with us today.